sitting on the bench chilling. All of a sudden, I'm crying.
Never thought I'd be able to throw a bounce pass lob to LeBron James in the game. So things like that just keeps you young, keep you enjoying the game.
A lot has changed for the Los Angeles Lakers over the past week. One of the biggest storylines in the entire NBA was the fact that the Los Angeles Lakers were on the outside looking in for the playoff picture and were about to swing a huge trade. Now all of that seems to have changed, or has it? Could this be a gigantic smokescreen possibly? Well, today I'm here to update you guys on all of that. Before we get to the content, make sure you drop like, subscribe, and turn on our notifications to help the channel grow. We're on the grind at 900,000 subscribers and we're almost there. Now that we get all that out of the way, cue the intro. For the Super Bowl, PrizePicks is blessing us with an easy way to make $100. All Patrick Mahomes needs is one passing yard in the Super Bowl for a square to hit, which means he's pretty much a free square. First, download PrizePicks and use my promo code microphone when you sign up to get up to $100 deposit match on your initial deposit, and then make these picks really quickly before they change the lines on them. So for me, I'm pairing Mahomes' free square with Isaiah Pacheco, who's had at least one touchdown in his last 5 games, so that's easy, and Christian McCaffrey, who has had more than 88.5 rushing yards in 4 of his last 5 games. Of course, I give away all my picks for free on Instagram, and I highly recommend you turn on notifications for my Instagram story so you can get the picks quickly before they move the lines and you lose your advantage. And thank you, PrizePicks, for the sponsor. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? I deserve to get barbecued in the comment section for the fact that I made a video on Luka Doncic declaring war on Tim McMahon, and then immediately after, Luka Doncic goes out and puts up 73 points in one of the greatest scoring performances in NBA history. So by all means, feel free to barbecue me in the comment section because I deserve it. It seems like the NBA has been going absolutely bananas over the past week, whether it was Joel Embiid's huge scoring performance, Luka Doncic's incredible career high, or the incredible game that we saw between the Golden State Warriors and the Los Angeles Lakers. And this game had everything you'd ever want to see. It was a double overtime game, big shots were hit. LeBron James had his career high for rebounds in this game, and he's 39 years old for crying out loud. But one of the most incredible parts of this game was that D'Angelo Russell had one of his best games for the Los Angeles Lakers. Again, this man had 28 points off of 8 of 19 shooting, went 5 of 8 from 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals. He had a block. As a matter of fact, it seems like ever since D'Angelo Russell was in trade rumors, he completely turned things around. In our last video, we showed you him crying during the game and then giving this emotional post-game interview where he expressed gratitude for the situation that he was in.
I mean, that's what we all dreamed of doing. You know, you go back to growing up, you practice moves, you try things in your backyard. Never thought you'd actually be able to get the chance to do it. Never thought I'd be able to throw a bounce pass lob to LeBron James in the game. So things like that just keeps you young, keep you enjoying the game. It's just fun.
So my theory about what went on here was the fact that D'Angelo Russell was starting to come to terms with the finality of his career with the Los Angeles Lakers. For the second time in his career, it looked like the Los Angeles Lakers were interested in trading him. And I don't really blame him. I mean, it seems like each and every day, Shams and Woj gave us a brand new update on D'Angelo Russell getting traded.
The Lakers are doing their due diligence. Dejounte Murray, Bruce Brown Jr., who just got traded to the Raptors, Tyus Jones, Terry Rozier. I'm told those are names to keep an eye on. The Lakers and Hawks did have some pretty extensive conversations about a Dejounte Murray trade a couple of weeks ago. It was centered around D'Angelo Russell, a 2029 first-round draft pick, and a pick swap, I'm told. The holdup was that Atlanta wanted to find a third team for D'Angelo Russell. He's got a player option for next season. They wanted to find a spot where they might be able to get an expiring contract back. I would expect the sides to circle back as we get closer to the February 8th trade deadline. But listen, D'Angelo Russell, the last 5 games, I think we need to give him credit the way he's playing. 27 points a night, 6 assists per game, about 5 threes per game as well. His splits are unbelievable, 56% from the field over the last 5 games. He's gotten a lot, I think, of flack over the last month or so. He's been in and out of the starting lineup. He's back in the starting lineup now, and so he's played at a really high level for the Lakers the last 5 games.
And we all know that LeBron James has a reputation of trading his teammates if he's not happy with them. I mean, you're talking about a man that quite literally traded the entire core of his team during the 2018 NBA season, during his final season with the Cleveland Cavaliers, which, by the way, resulted in a trip to the NBA Finals, in addition to last year, which also resulted in a trip to the Western Conference Finals. There are times where his input helps his team tremendously, and then there are times where he just makes the wrong call completely. And in this particular case, the case of D'Angelo Russell is probably the most complex case that he's ever had to deal with. Because as big of a fan as I am of D'Angelo Russell, as you can see from me changing my wardrobe to his rookie year jersey, which yes, I did buy because I was convinced that he was going to grab the torch from Kobe Bryant and lead the Lakers to a brand new era of excellence. I do have to admit, D'Angelo Russell's biggest problem is the fact that he's been very inconsistent. But as of the last 5 games, he's been incredible. 28 points per game, shooting 52% from the field and actually 54% from beyond the arc. Now, again, this is a 5-game sample size. But if you want to look at his entire regular season, D'Angelo Russell is averaging 43% from 3. He's shooting 48% from the arc. He's averaging 17 points per game to go with 6 assists per game. All of this has been leading Laker fans to the conclusion that,
hey, maybe we don't want to trade D'Angelo Russell.
And now we're getting conflicting reports because although we were hearing that the Lakers were interested in a trade centered around D'Angelo Russell for Dejounte Murray a few weeks ago, we got a huge update from both Jovan Buha and Mark Stein about the Lakers' brand new plan. And to be honest, I think I'm in favor of this plan. So according to Mark Stein, the Los Angeles Lakers and the Atlanta Hawks have had little to no trade dialogue regarding former All-Star guard Dejounte Murray in recent days. Now, the Lakers have been rumored to be a destination for Murray if Atlanta decides to move him by this season's trade deadline. I'm personally a huge fan of this because there's no way the Lakers could get Dejounte Murray without giving up Gabe Vincent, D'Angelo Russell, Max Christie, a 2nd-round pick, a couple of 2nd-round picks, and potentially their 2029 1st-round pick, although it could be protected. And then once you do that, you're pretty much in the same situation you were in last year. You have a brand new team that you have to get chemistry down with for about 2.5 months in hopes of potentially making a playoff push. Don't get me wrong, Dejounte Murray is a slight upgrade over D'Angelo Russell, but a decent upgrade defensively over D'Angelo Russell. And look, man, maybe I'm a little biased. I'm always going to favor continuity over changing things up in the middle of the season, especially when it seems like the risk to reward ratio is off. But there's still no doubt in my mind that the Los Angeles Lakers need to make a move. So what should the Los Angeles Lakers do here? Well, there's always the prospect of potentially trading Austin Reeves, but the Lakers don't seem to be interested in that either. The Athletic's James Edwards III and Jovan Buha recently discussed a possible Lakers trade with the Pistons, which involves the Lakers sending Reeves, Rui Hachimura, Max Christie, and a 2029 1st-round pick to Detroit for Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks. And I know immediately all of us kind of vomited in our mouths, especially if you're a Laker fan, because the Lakers would quickly reject this deal. They have no interest in trading Reeves. The exception would be in a deal for a clear-cut 3rd All-Star, with a name like Lauri Markkanen being the only player of that ilk potentially available on the trade market, which is also a very unrealistic trade target for the Los Angeles Lakers at this stage. There's nothing in the treasure chest of assets that the Lakers have that would interest the Utah Jazz for Lauri Markkanen in return. So if that's the case, what are the Los Angeles Lakers going to do in order to potentially bolster this team? They have a huge need at backup point guard, and they certainly can use more shooting. Well, I'm gonna be honest, it's not necessarily as attractive as swinging a huge trade for Dejounte Murray, but if the Lakers decide to stand pat, it seems like they have options for the future. It's crazy because when you open up this article, the first thing that is brought up is that the Lakers have already tried to trade D'Angelo Russell for Dejounte Murray, and the two sides were close on a potential deal about 2 weeks ago, and talks stalled but are expected to resume ahead of the deadline. Murray remains the Lakers' top priority on the trade market, according to multiple team and league sources not authorized to speak publicly. The Lakers believe Murray would provide similar offensive production to Russell, with obvious downgrades in three-point shooting volume and playmaking. But Murray is the superior defender, athlete, and penetrator, all qualities the Lakers need more of in their rotation. Like Russell, Murray has taken a step forward in recent weeks, nailing 2-game winners and averaging 24.5 points, 6.2 rebounds, 4.5 assists, and 0.8 steals in his last 13 games. Plus, with approximately 4 years and $114 million left on his extension, he's secure for multiple reasons at a reasonable cost given his pedigree and production. The only way Joe Von Buas sees this deal happening is from a trade centered around D'Angelo Russell. Now, if you keep going down, he has some more interesting things to say. Like, for instance, has D'Lo's recent play affected his trade value? And Buas says what we're all expecting. Of course it has. He's leading the team in points, is second in assists since re-entering the starting lineup on January 13th. It's not only his best stretch of the season, but the best stretch of either of his Lakers tenure and one of the best of his career. But the reason why the Lakers would trade D'Angelo Russell still is because Russell and Reeves have a level of overlapping strengths and weaknesses that make it difficult to keep both of them together long term. And the other is the fact that D'Angelo Russell's current contract creates a very difficult situation for the Lakers. If the Lakers have to move on from either Reeves or Russell, they're going to move on from Russell because they could lose Russell for nothing during this offseason, which is also the reason why most teams typically ask for Austin Reeves. He's under a very good contract for way longer. Bua finishes the article by saying D'Angelo Russell's contract was essentially signed to be traded. That's why he waived his de facto no trade clause usually entitled to players on one-year contracts. It's also why he got a player option on the second season. The Lakers don't have to trade him, and they might not, but if they do, it's largely because that's been the plan since last summer. I feel bad for D'Angelo Russell because his entire career has always been the player that is really good but inconsistent, but will get traded at some point. I mean, the Golden State Warriors did the exact same thing with him during the summer of 2019. Although he was part of a sign and trade for Kevin Durant after balling out with the Brooklyn Nets, he goes to the Golden State Warriors and eventually gets traded for Andrew Wiggins because he wasn't a fit alongside Steph Curry. They just did a sign and trade for him so they could get something in return for Kevin Durant. And it seems like the Lakers kind of did the same thing here. Joe Von Bua puts the odds that D'Angelo Russell is a Laker at around 40%. So if that's the case, once again, Mike, who are the Lakers going to get to improve the team if they keep D'Angelo Russell? Well, Bua says that a name to look out for is none other than Kyle Lowry. If Lowry is bought out by Charlotte, the Lakers are expected to have interest in him for a backup point guard role, according to team and league sources, which is nice, don't get me wrong. It's not necessarily the splashiest move, but it certainly does improve the Lakers mildly, but it's obviously not going to be as impactful as bringing in Dejounte Murray. So at the end of the day, the Lakers are in a tough spot because D'Angelo Russell has been playing really well, but D'Angelo Russell and Austin Reeves don't necessarily work together because they have a very similar skill set as to one another. Austin Reeves is under contract for significantly longer. D'Angelo Russell can opt out during this offseason. So it's about trying to get something for a player that has caught fire as of late. In my last video, somebody commented something hysterical in the comment section down below, and that's the fact that maybe D'Angelo Russell's playing so well right now so he could boost his value and the Lakers could get a maximum return for him. And to be honest, none of that would surprise me. It wouldn't shock me if the Lakers traded D'Angelo Russell before the trade deadline. It's not something that will make me really happy because, well, I'm a little bit of a D'Angelo Russell fan. So if that's the case, Mike, why are you bringing us this update saying that the Lakers aren't as into Dejounte Murray after D'Angelo Russell's played so well? Because at the end of the day, this could be a gigantic smokescreen to put pressure on the Atlanta Hawks so they could become desperate to make a deal, which we've seen happen in years past. Just because you see a headline that the Lakers are souring on a Dejounte Murray trade doesn't necessarily mean it's true. The Lakers would probably be interested in such a trade, but at the right price. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about all this, man. Do you think the Lakers should trade D'Angelo Russell for Dejounte Murray? Do you think the Lakers should keep D'Angelo Russell and opt for continuity? I don't think there's a clear-cut correct answer. I'm interested in seeing how they decide to handle the situation. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike. I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.